sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. I, of course, am the coach, and this is a busy, busy day at the brand. But before we look forward, we must look back. Yesterday, kind of a ho-hum day at the brand. Now, we did have several check marks. AB was all over that Tennessee game. Chip, as always, nailing Clemson. North Carolina, they scored 38, I believe. I think it was 38-35, and that game covered as well. Now, collectively on the college special show, Minnesota, Illinois, that went over, surprisingly. But, again, several more check marks, so a solid day at the brand. Now, today, we have shows all day long. This is the morning show, if you're brand new to the brand. Then later at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we will break down every single 1 o'clock game, every single 4 o'clock game, including the Bills and the Chiefs. Then tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, we will count down to Sunday Night Football, and it could be a great one. Cowboys, 4-1. Eagles, 5-0. We'll have props, straight bets. We'll have the VJM. We'll have now the Gem, as we've changed it to. But it's about the here and the now. Let's bring in the stars of the show, because on a Sunday morning, I got the absolute very best that I could find. Now, he literally just got off of a plane. The man is worldwide, and he is live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. Mikey, M Squared, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. RJ, Larry, happy Sunday brunch to everyone out there fired up for this NFL slate. Got a play today that I absolutely love, and I've seen someone else's play on here that I also am on, so I'm not going to share it on the show, but I absolutely love what we've got lined up for you today. Let's go.
It may be one of those breakout days for several stars across the NFL. Now, next, he is the man who runs the NFL at SportsLine for all of us. He is the stoic one, RJ White. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Coming off an exciting day of college football, that TCU overtime win, followed by that Alabama, finish there was incredible. And looking forward to a similar day here with one of the best NFL games we have all year on the slate.
Oh, man, when you've got the Bills and the Chiefs, which is now becoming the greatest rivalry in the AFC, and you got Bills and Chiefs fans right here, that's what it's all about. Now, this man, if he's sweating a game, it is fun to watch. He is the maestro. Larry Hartstein, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Great to be here. Mikey, number one, I'm hoping that's one of the props that I sent in, because I'll make that a 2-unit play as soon as you endorse that. And number two, I want to know if the Stoic one wants to run it back with me on a showdown. I mean, last week's went pretty well, if I recall. And I know he disagrees with a couple of the picks that I put in Friday on the early edge.
Wow, but you're just throwing it out there, but you're not telling us which game you're talking about.
I'm going to give him the choice. He knows the top 2 games that we disagree on, and it's in his court.
Okay, now we're going to save that till the end of the show, okay? We'll save that till the end of the show, but we may have a show, maybe 2 showdowns. Who knows? So just put that in your little pin in it for right now. But let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I tell you what, Bills, Chiefs, they're the only 4:25 Eastern game today for a reason. RJ White, start us off.
Yeah, we know what happened last year with this game. KC's 13-second comeback, and Buffalo's been gnawing on that all offseason. Everybody expects this could be an AFC championship preview, the 2 best teams in the AFC. Buffalo's looking for revenge after that game. They're the unquestioned best team in football. Just look at this line. They're favored on the road against anyone if they're favored on the road in Kansas City. Look ahead was Pick'em. It jumped 2 points after Buffalo's blowout win against Pittsburgh, and you know how I feel about that. Mahomes is playing his 42nd career home game here. It's his first as the underdog. He has always been a favorite at home. Not going to happen here. And I know Larry loves looking at the ref stats here. Brad Allen is the ref, and home underdogs are 22-11-1 against the spread with Brad Allen at ref since 2016 per Sharp Football Analysis. So whoever wins this game could very well get the number 1 seed in the AFC and home field. Chiefs are just as motivated as Buffalo to come out and have a good game, because if they lose this one, there's no chance you're getting home field. So love this game here, and I love one side of it.
It's going to be an absolute banger today. And when you start in the afternoon at 3:25, second half's going to be under the lights, which is going to be fantastic. Now, there's another team, Maestro, that a lot of people, if they're not paying attention, perfect against the spread. You would think we're talking about the Chiefs. You would think we're talking about the Bills, but oh no. There'd be a team down in the dirty that has been getting it done against the spread. And in this game today, a little line movement. Talk to me.
Yeah, the Falcons, the only 5-0 team against the spread. Their offensive line is playing great. They are running the ball very well, and that will be a big test today because the 49ers only give up 3 yards a carry, by far the best in football, but we know that they will be without 5 defensive starters and maybe Bosa as well. So they're really thin up front, but some of their backups are pretty good. A guy like, Charles Omenihu. This team is deep. The other angle, though, I want to look at, and we've seen this line come from 6.5, 6.5 down to 4.5. If it gets to 4, I probably have to take the 49ers because this is the fifth time they have stayed out east after playing a game out east, and they have covered the other 4 times under Kyle Shanahan. They stayed in Greenbrier. Plus Jimmy G, he had that terrible game against Denver. Well, the last 2 games, the number 1 most efficient quarterback in all of football. So their defense isn't going to be as good today, but I think that offense can put up high 20s against the Falcons, maybe even in the 30s. I would look over, and I would look at the 49ers if I can lay 4 or less.
All right. Really good information, good advice. I think the 49ers are going to roll. I don't think it's even going to matter. I think they roll today, and the Falcons will have their first against the spread loss for the year. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And again, if you watched our Prop Spectacular, our Mega Preview, you've already put in several plays already this week, but we have new ones for today. But before we get to that, we got to pay those pesky little bills. Here's a word from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. For those watching on YouTube, welcome. Listening on Apple or Spotify, welcome to all of you as well. Now, we got several plays today, several new plays, and you got to get these in or the lines move in a heartbeat. So, Mikey, it is Sunday Brunch. You name this show, it is your show. So you know the drill, son. It doesn't matter if it's NFL Week 6 or coming off an incredible college Saturday. It's laser focus time right here. So, Mikey, fresh off a plane, still feeling good. Ears haven't even popped yet, but you can give it to me.
All right, Coach, let's hit a player prop here. We're going Jamar Chase over 78.5 receiving yards. We'll note that you can still get 77.5 right now on MGM, so I ended up playing it twice. I love this play here. We all know about Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow returning to the Superdome here for the first time since the 2020 National Championship game. Had a lot of success here. It's an emotional spot. The family's there, all excited, fired up. Love when that happens and it aligns with a play that actually makes sense and actually lines up with all my numbers here. Jamar Chase saw 12 targets last week, 16 in week 1. We love that kind of upside in these situations. They haven't had real huge games since that week 1. However, this Saints defense is decimated. Marshawn Lattimore out. Look, Geno Smith has been great for Seattle this year. I don't want to take that away from him. This defense made Geno Smith look really good again last week. They haven't had a lot to offer in terms of resistance in the passing game. Love this as a potential spike spot for Jamar Chase. Again, over 77.5 currently on MGM, over 78.5 everywhere else. Love this number. I would play it all the way up to 84.
When you hear the word spike from one of my cappers, I suggest you play it immediately. They don't miss those spike opportunities. Now, that is our first prop for the day. But I need, I don't know, maybe a team total. I don't know, maybe a teaser. And there's only one man that I can come to for that. RJ White, you're up.
Earlier in the week, I had Kansas City +3 and Seattle +3 as plays. They're both down to 2.5 now. I love teasing them both together, get them both up to +8.5. Pretty simple here. I think both these home dogs should be at least pick 'em, if not favored in the case of Seattle. Kansas City's the second best team in the league for me. Buffalo isn't that far ahead of them that they should be favored by 2.5 in Kansas City to me. On the Seattle side, they have the better quarterback, they have the better receivers, they have the better coaching staff, and they have home field. Don't see how they're going to lose this game by 8.5, especially when they can cover through the back door with the way that Geno Smith is playing. Second play is the Saints team total under 20.5 at -120. New Orleans is down Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Deontay Hardy at receiver, and they're not expected to have Chris Olave. That leaves Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith, and practice squatters at receiver. Since he hasn't given up more than 20 points in regulation all year, I don't see how they start, especially now that all the Taysom Palooza plays are on tape and they can, scheme up for them through the week and prepare for them. So I like the Saints staying under that number of 20.5. Other team total plays, Rams team total under 26.5 at -115. Rams offense is 32nd in yards per play. They've scored 19 points in the last 2 games combined against 2 really good defenses. Carolina has had a pretty solid defense at times this year. And they're going to come out here with some defensive scheme changes after changing defensive coordinators. Only 1 of 5 games this year is over 20 points for the Rams. Their offense looks awful right now. Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, both questionable. They're expected to play, but they're not going to be 100%, I don't think. So that reduces the scoring opportunities for the Rams even further to me. I don't think this is a blockbuster game for that offense because it hasn't been all year. So take the under 26.5 on the Rams team total.
You guys told us before the season that with Van Jefferson gone, OBJ gone, that this Rams team would struggle to take the top off the defense. They have nobody to do it. And this is who they are. I love that Rams pick. All right, RJ, you're not done yet. There's still a couple things I got to handle with you. But in the meantime, we've got several props. The Maestro has been doing work the last 48 hours. You, sir, have the floor.
All right. How about a 5-pack of props? I'm starting with Christian Kirk. I love this guy coming off his worst game. 1 catch for 11 yards, 2 balls that were uncatchable from Trevor Lawrence. He went for 6 on 78 and 2 touchdowns in the first matchup against the Colts. And what I really like is basically the talk all week is we have to get the ball to Christian Kirk. That was crazy that he wasn't targeted. And Marvin Jones, who had 11 targets last week, he is out for today. So we're talking about Christian Kirk and Zay Jones as the main target guys in Indianapolis. I'll go over 60.5 for Christian Kirk. And then let's go under A.J. Dillon combined rushing receiving yards at 65.5 on combined on -115. And the issue is that he just hasn't been efficient, averaging 3.9 yards a carry. Aaron Jones, 6.4 yards a carry. And last week, we kind of saw the Packers staff notice that, and they only gave A.J. Dillon 20 snaps in that game against the Giants, whereas Aaron Jones had 46 snaps. And the Jets have a very solid run defense, only giving up 4 yards a carry. So I'm going to go under combined rushing receiving for A.J. Dillon. And then Kyler Murray, over 26.5 rushing yards. I don't think he's going to do what Taysom Hill did to the Seahawks defense, but this is the worst defense in football. Yards per play, most rushing yards. I mean, in so many categories, Kyler Murray can get this in one play. Last week, 4 for 42. I think it's a blow-up game for the Cardinals offense, and I will take Kyler over 26.5 rushing yards. And I still got 2 more, guys. I got 2 more that I really like. Tom Brady, over 25.5 completions, coming back at -114. Look at his last 3 weeks, 39, 35, 31, when he started to get the receivers healthy. He is playing a Steelers defense that will not have Minkah Fitzpatrick. We know they still don't have TJ Watt to rush the passer, and they're missing their top 3 cornerbacks. So I love Tom Brady over 25.5. The weather looks pretty good there. And then Jeff Wilson, over 7.5 receiving yards, -120. He needs 1 catch to do this. The Falcons give up a ton to running backs. Fournette had 10 catches last week. We just need 1 catch. He's done this in 4 of the 5 games. Let's make it 5 out of 6 for the Niners today. And there's the 5.
A little 5-pack from the Maestro today. I like it. And, of course, we've got plenty more picks coming or analysis. Yes, sir.
I am curious. I'm still dying to know which play Mikey likes, if it's mine or RJ's.
Mikey.
It's one of your plays, Larry. It's the rushing prop on Kyler Murray. It's one of my favorite plays of the week.
I think it's going to be kind of a crazy game. And when it's crazy, he has a tendency to use his legs a lot. So I like that. All right. Now, RJ, Maestro has put the ball in your court, that there are not just one, but maybe a couple of games that potentially you would love a showdown to get your money back. Are you in it today, sir?
Yeah, I'll pick one of them. Let's not pick the Bills-Chiefs games, so I don't have to root against the Bills even more than I already do with the picks I have on the Chiefs. But let's take Seattle plus 2.5 in a showdown.
Okay, Seattle plus 2.5. And then, Maestro, who do you have to make it official?
I have the Cardinals, and RJ, that's the game I was hoping you were going to pick.
I know.
Oh, not only did – he said, I was hoping you would do that. Wow, Maestro's feeling himself today. All right, so to make it official, though, Jake, if you don't mind, please. We're never going to miss an opportunity. It's gonna be a showdown. You're damn right it's going to be a showdown. We love showdowns here at the Early Edge. If you're brand new, here's what it is. Maestro has the Cardinals -2.5. RJ has the Seahawks plus the 2.5. Whoever wins, Venmo's the other. And it hurts. It hurts. And it stinks, especially when they screenshot it and then they put it out on social media. That hurts big time. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. M-squared, one big play so far, Jamar Chase. He gave you all the reasons why this could be a spike game for my man who's really struggled out of the gate so far this year. Over 78.5. He said he played all the way up to 84. Then R.J. White, couple of team total unders. When you lose weapons, you lose firepower. Saints, team total under 20.5. Rams, team total under 26.5. Then a couple of teasers that I put in live on the show myself. You can still get these numbers. Chiefs, 8.5. Seahawks, plus 8.5. And remember, both have to win, which is why you get them in at the half a point. Then Maestro, 5-pack of props today. Christian Kirk, over 6.5 receiving yards. A.J. Dillon, under 65.5 rush and receiving yards. Kyler Murray, over 26.5 rush yards. Tom Brady, let's go to over 25.5 completions. Then Jeff Wilson, over 7.5 receiving yards, -120. Now, if you are a loyal follower and a loyal watcher, then you know on this show, on NFL Sundays, you get a little bonus, but you got to wait until the very end. We like to call it the look ahead. RJ, you're back up.
Yeah, I talked on the Pick Six podcast this week about taking Miami -6 because I thought at least we'd have Teddy back for that game based on his practice and reports this week. Now Tua's been cleared to return, so we're going to get Tua back for that game. The line now is -7. I don't think that it should be adjusted just a point for this news. I'd make this Miami -5 with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. With Tua, it's at least -7 on a neutral, and Miami has one of the best home field advantages in the league. Pittsburgh's been bet against this week. They're down to +9.5 this week. They're expected to get clobbered. So if they live up to expectations, this line isn't going down. And I think that once everybody realizes, oh, this is a Miami team that looked like one of the better teams in the league, a top 10 team with Tua at quarterback earlier this year against a Pittsburgh team that hasn't looked good all year, this line's going to be up pretty high. I would expect it to get above 10 in my numbers. So that's why I love taking Miami -7 right now.
The world of sports betting has changed. Yes, you can bet a game before the other games are done. It's allowed. Now, Tyler in the chat, Tyler, you must be new to the brand. You say RJ never looks happy. This is his happy face. RJ, is this not your happy face?
It's my happy face, my sad face, my excited face, my annoyed face, my whatever, insert adjective here face. This is what you get.
You are a savage, man. You are a savage. One of a kind. That's right. He's on our team. Now, we'll be back at noon Eastern time for a full hour breaking down all the 1 o'clock games, the 2 4:05 games, and the game of the day at 4:25, the Bills and the Chiefs. And we'll be back tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to break down Sunday night football. What a scene it's been in Philadelphia with the Phillies taking care of business. You got Premier League soccer in town as far as a pregame show. And then, of course, tonight, Sunday Night Football. We'll be here for all of it. But in the meantime, man, do we love what we do. And I can tell you, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. RJ White, the Stoic One. M-Squared, the Maestro, Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. To all your friends, turn on your notifications. Every time a show starts, you will know it, so you don't miss one single second of our content at the Early Edge. Good luck.